Good day, everyone. Have you ever wondered what drives a being to seek immortality at all costs? Is it, hunger for power, love, or perhaps something even, deeper? In today's presentation, we will explore the fascinating theme of hunger and the quest for immortality in literature. Through the lens of four captivating stories, we'll examine how different characters and narratives approach this timeless concept. Our goal is to uncover the motivations behind the characters' pursuit of immortality and to understand how this quest shapes their actions and the story's outcome. By the end of this presentation, I hope everybody will have a deeper appreciation for how these themes are woven into these literary works. We'll be reviewing four stories: Dracula by Bram Stoker, Good Lady Ducayne by Mary Elizabeth Braddon, Shambleau by C.L. Moore, and The Cookie Lady by Philip K. Dick. For each story, we'll discuss the author, characterization, key themes, and how hunger and immortality are depicted. Let's begin our journey with the legendary vampire tale Dracula by Bram Stoker. This classic story offers a rich exploration of the desire for eternal life and the lengths to which individuals will go to achieve it. Abram Bram Stoker was born in November 8, 1847 in Dublin, Ireland, and passed away on April 20, 1912. Stoker is best known for his seminal work Dracula, which has a profound impact on Gothic literature and vampire mythology. Besides being a prolific writer, Stoker also managed the theatre in London, the Lyceum Theatre in London, where he worked closely with the famous actor Henry Irving. Stoker's writing was heavily influenced by Gothic literature, folklore, and the contemporary fears of the unknown that permeated the late Victorian era. His legacy lives on through Dracula, which remains a cornerstone of vampire mythology and has significantly influenced pop culture. Chapters 14 to 19 of Dracula are pivotal to the novel's progression. During these chapters, Professor Van Helsing and Dr. Seward intensify their efforts to save Lady Westerna from Dracula's influence. Despite their innovative treatments and constant vigilance, Lucy succumbs to Dracula's power, transforming into a vampire. This transformation is both tragic and horrifying, highlighting the corruption of her innocence. Lucy's final death is a sorrowful yet necessary act, as Van Helsing and his companions must destroy her to free her soul. During this time, Mina Harker becomes increasingly involved with the group, offering crucial support and information. Mina's intelligence and resourcefulness makes her a key player in their fight against Dracula. The chapters culminate in this group's solemn vow to hunt down and destroy Count Dracula, driven by personal loss and a sense of duty. This resolution unites the characters, setting the stage for the intense pursuit of the vampire lord and making a significant turning point in the novel. So, Professor Abram Van Helsing is a central figure in Dracula, known for his extensive knowledge of medicine and the supernatural. His compassionate nature drives his relentless efforts to save Lady Westerna, even as her condition deteriorates. Lucy. Van Helsing's determination is unwavering, and he often takes on the role of mentor and leader within the group. He represents the rational mind confronting the irrational, using both scientific methods and a deep understanding of folklore to combat the vampire threat. Van Helsing's character embodies the blend of modern science and ancient wisdom, making him a crucial ally in the fight against Dracula. Lady Westerna is introduced as a pure and, innocent young woman. She's admired for her beauty and charm. However, she becomes one of Dracula's primary victims, marking a significant turning point in the story. Lucy's transformation into a vampire is both tragic and horrifying, as she shifts from an innocent girl to a predatory creature. This transformation symbolizes the loss of innocence and the corruption of purity, illustrating the destructive power of Dracula's influence. Lucy's character arc is pivotal, as it emphasizes the stakes of the battle against Dracula and the lengths to which the group must go to save her soul. Dracula delves into many important themes that add depth to the story and make it resonate with readers. One of the central themes is the struggle between good and evil. Van Helsing and his group symbolizes the forces of good while Dracula embodies evil. This classic battle is at the heart of the novel and drives much of the action. Another key theme is the fear of the unknown and the supernatural. The characters in Dracula often face terrifying situations that challenge their understanding of the world. This theme reflects the anxieties of the Victorian era, a time when many people were uncertain about the rapid changes brought by science and technology. The novel also explores the impact of modern science versus ancient superstition. Van Helsing and his team use both scientific methods and old superstitions to fight Dracula. This combination shows the tension between new knowledge and traditional beliefs, highlighting how both can be valuable in dealing with the unknown. The role of woman and the concept of purity are significant themes as well. Characters like Lucy and Mina represent the Victorian ideal of pure, innocent woman. Dracula's corruption of Lucy and the threat to Mina emphasize the dangers posed to this purity by evil forces. The novel critiques the strict gender roles of the time and explores the consequences of breaking these norms. The dangers of unchecked power and corruption are embodied by Dracula, whose influence spreads like a disease. His ability to control and manipulate others show how power can be dangerous if not kept in check. This theme is a warning about the potential for individuals or institutions to abuse power. Blood is a powerful symbol in Dracula, representing both life and death. Dracula's need for blood to sustain his immortality highlights its importance. The transfusions he gives to Lucy symbolize the fight to preserve life. The duality of blood underscores many of the novel's themes. The clash between tradition and progress is another important theme. The characters use traditional methods alongside new scientific discoveries to fight Dracula. This blend of old and new reflects the broader societal changes happening during the Victorian era. Lastly, the psychological effects of fear and trauma are evident throughout the story. Characters experience intense fear and mental strain as they confront Dracula's horrors. This theme explores how fear can affect the mind and emphasize the courage needed to face and overcome such terror. In Dracula, hunger and immortality are intricately linked through the character of Count Dracula. His insatiable hunger for blood is both a physical need and a symbol of his parasitic existence. Dracula achieves immortality through vampirism, but this eternal life comes at a significant cost. He must continuously feed on the blood of the living, turning his victims into vampire and spreading his corruption. The physical and psychological toll on his victims is immense, as seen with Lucy's tragic transformation. Dracula's immortality reflects societal fears about the consequences of seeking eternal life and the degeneration it can bring. The story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked desires and the moral and ethical implications of pursuing immortality at the expense of others. Additionally, Dracula's manipulation and control over his victims highlight the eternal struggle between life and death, emphasizing the dark allure of his immortality. In conclusion, Dracula provides a rich and multifaceted exploration of hunger and immortality, set against the backdrop of a Gothic horror narrative. The novel's key points highlight the struggle between good and evil, the fear of the unknown, and the impact of modern science versus ancient superstition. Reflecting on the themes of immortality, we see how Dracula's eternal life is both a gift and a curse, requiring a constant supply of blood and leaving a trail of corruption in its wake. Comparing Dracula to other stories in this presentation, we observe a common theme of immortality's heavy cost and the ethical dilemmas it presents. The broader implications of hunger and immortality in Dracula emphasize the dangers of unchecked desires and the moral boundaries crossed in the pursuit of eternal life. From Dracula, we learn valuable lessons about the consequences of seeking power and immortality at the expense of others, the importance of resisting temptation, and the enduring battle between good and evil. This story, along with Good Lady Ducayne, Shambleau, and The Cookie Lady, offers a comprehensive exploration of the diverse and often troubling facets of immortality, inviting readers to ponder, the true cost of eternal life and the boundaries of human desire. Next up, we have Good Lady Ducayne by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. Mary Elizabeth Braddon was a British Victorian-era popular novelist born in Soho, London on October 4, 1835. She passed away on February 4, 1915. Braddon was a significant figure in the sensation figure genre of the 1860s and is most well known for her first novel, Lady Audley's Secret. She published Good Lady Ducayne in 1896 under the pen name M. E. Braddon. Braddon's works often delve into the darker aspects of human nature and societal norms, making her a key author in the development of modern mystery and thriller genres. Good Lady Ducayne is a chilling novella that follows Bella Ralston, a young and optimistic woman who takes a job as a companion to the elderly and wealthy Lady Ducayne. Initially, the job seems like an adventure, offering Bella a way to support herself and her mother. However, she soon discovers that Lady Ducayne is involved in a scheme to extend her own life by draining the blood of young women, including her previous companions who mysteriously died. Bella finds herself slowly weakening and becoming paler, realizing the horrific truth about Lady Ducayne's methods. The story then follows Bella's struggle to escape this dangerous situation and save her own life. Bella Ralston is characterized as a very upbeat and honest young woman. Despite her and her mother's unfortunate financial situation, Bella remains positive and views her job as Lady Ducayne's companion as an exciting adventure rather than a chore. Bella's innocence and trust makes her an easy target for Lady Ducayne's sinister plans. Her character represents the vulnerability of the lower class in Victorian society, showing how they are often preyed upon by the wealthy. Lady Ducayne initially presents herself as a kind employer, seeking only healthy and active companions. However, her true nature is revealed as the story progresses. She is driven by an obsessive desire for eternal life, willing to go to extreme and, unethical lengths to achieve it. Although her actions are morally reprehensible, Lady Ducayne's character is portrayed as desperate rather than purely evil, adding depth to her motivations. Her use of wealth and power to exploit vulnerable young women like Bella highlights the predatory nature of the upper class in the story. Mr. Stafford is a young man of means who becomes crucial to the resolution of the story. His keen observation skills and intelligence allows him to piece together the clues about Lady Ducayne's sinister activities, despite having limited information. Unlike others, he is not swayed by Bella's financial situation, but is genuinely concerned for her well-being. Mr. Stafford's intervention ultimately saves Bella, making him a symbol of moral integrity and justice in the story. His character serves as a contrast to Lady Ducayne, highlighting the possibility of righteousness in a world driven by selfish desires. Good Lady Ducayne explores several complex themes, including gender struggles and the class system prevalent in Victorian England. The story addresses societal fears about women becoming unmotherly and abandoning traditional nurturing roles, exemplified by Lady Ducayne's predatory behavior. The story also critiques the exploitation of the lower class by the wealthy, with Lady Ducayne preying on young women like Bella, who are seeking better opportunities. The tension between immortality and morality is central to the story, questioning the ethical implications of sacrificing others for one's own benefit. Additionally, the power dynamics between wealth and poverty are explored, showing how the rich can manipulate and control the less fortunate. Immortality in Good Lady Ducayne is depicted through Lady Ducayne's use of younger women's blood to slow her aging process. This pursuit of eternal life comes at a great cost, causing harm and ultimately death to her companions. Her insatiable hunger for life is so intense that it leads to her to commit morally reprehensible acts, reflecting the selfish nature of her quest. Lady Ducayne employs a doctor to perform blood transfusions, transferring the vitality of her young companions to herself. This method, while effective in prolonging her life, results in the gradual deterioration of her victims' health, leading to their mysterious deaths. The narrative leaves room for interpretation about the exact process, but the implications are clear. Lady Ducayne's actions are driven by a selfish and relentless hunger for life, illustrating the moral and ethical boundaries she is willing to cross just to achieve her goals. The story was published in 1986, and it reflects the Victorian era's anxieties about scientific advancements and the ethical dilemmas they pose. During this time, there was significant concern for the public about the potential misuse of new medical technologies and the moral implications of extending life through artificial means. Good Lady Ducayne captures these fears by showcasing a character who exploits scientific progress for personal gain, ultimately harming others in the process. The tension between the benefits of scientific progress and the potential for ethical abuse is a central theme to the story. It raises questions about the cost of immortality and the lengths to which individuals will go to achieve it, even at the expense of others' lives and well-being. Lady Ducayne's desperate hunger for life and youth underscores the selfishness inherent in her pursuit of immortality, making her a cautionary figure within the narrative. In conclusion, Good Lady Ducayne offers a compelling exploration of the lengths to which people will go to achieve immortality and the ethical compromises they are willing to make. The story's themes of power, exploitation, and moral integrity provide a perspective on the quest for life. Comparing Good Lady Ducayne to the other stories in our presentation, we see a recurring theme of immortality's heavy cost. In Dracula, immortality brings loneliness and moral decay. In Shambleau, it manifests as a predatory instinct that endangers others. The Cookie Lady presents a similar idea of an older person preying on the young to sustain their life. Each story presents a different facet of immortality, highlighting both its allure and its dangers. The broader implications of the pursuit of immortality in Good Lady Ducayne are significant. The narrative warns against the unchecked desire for eternal life, emphasizing the moral and ethical boundaries that Lady Ducayne crossed in her pursuit. Lady Ducayne's actions serve as a cautionary tale, illustrating the destructive potential of selfishly seeking to extend one's life at the expense of others. From this story, we also learn several key lessons. Firstly, the pursuit of immortality often comes with unforeseen consequences that can be detrimental not only to the individual but also to those around them. Secondly, the exploitation of the vulnerable by those in positions of power is a timeless issue that transcends the Victorian era. Lastly, the story reminds us of the importance of ethical considerations in scientific and medical advancements, a concern that remains relevant to this day. Through the lens of Good Lady Ducayne, we gain a deeper understanding of the complex interplay between life, morality, and the relentless pursuit of eternal youth. This narrative, along with Dracula, Shambleau, and the Cookie Lady, enriches our understanding of immortality's multifaceted nature, highlighting the diverse ways in which it can manifest and the consequences it can have. Up next, we will be reviewing Shambleau by C.L. Moore. Catherine Lucille Moore, better known as C.L. Moore, was born on January 24, 1911 in Indianapolis, Indiana, and passed away on April 4, 1987. Moore was a pioneering female author in the predominantly male fields of science fiction and fantasy. She is celebrated for creating strong, complex female characters and rich, imaginative worlds. Shambleau, published in 1933 in Weird Tales, was her first professional sale and remains one of her most famous works. Shambleau is set on a future Earth and follows the adventure of Northwest Smith, a rugged spacefaring outlaw with a reputation for daring exploits. The story begins with Smith arriving in a bustling spaceport where he witnesses a mob chasing a mysterious woman. Driven by his protective instincts, Smith intervenes and rescues the woman, who introduces herself as Shambleau. As he provides her shelter, Smith begins to notice her strange and alluring qualities. It soon becomes evident that Shambleau is not a human, but a Medusa-like alien creature with the power to mesmerize and control her victims. Smith finds himself irresistibly drawn to her, experiencing intense and conflicting emotions. As he learns more about her predatory nature, Smith must summon all his strength and willpower to resist her hypnotic allure and survive her deadly embrace. The story delves into the complexities of temptation, the unknown, and the primal instincts that challenge Smith's survival. Northwest Smith is portrayed as a rugged and resourceful spacefarer, embodying the archetype of the classic hero. He is well known for his daring adventures and ability to navigate dangerous situations. Despite his tough exterior, Smith displays a protective and compassionate side when he rescues Shambleau from an angry mob. This act of kindness reveals his inherent sense of justice and bravery. Throughout the story, Smith grapples with intense inner conflict and temptation as he is drawn to Shambleau's mysterious allure. His struggle to resist her hypnotic powers highlights his determination and moral fortitude. Northwest Smith's character serves as a beacon of resilience, showcasing the complexities of heroism in the face of overwhelming odds. Shambleau is a mysterious and alluring alien creature, unlike anything Northwest Smith has encountered before. She possesses Medusa-like qualities with a hypnotic power that allows her to mesmerize and control her victims. Shambleau's predatory nature is revealed through her need to feed on the life force of humans, making her both fascinating and terrifying. Her character challenges traditional roles of female figures in science fiction, blending beauty with deadly intent. Shambleau symbolizes the peril of succumbing to temptation and the unknown, as her enchanting presence draws victims into a fatal embrace. Her dual nature of allure and danger underscores the story's themes of survival and the complexities of encountering the alien other. Shambleau explores several profound themes, primarily centered around the temptation and resistance. Northwest Smith's battle against Shambleau's hypnotic powers encapsulates the struggle to resist overwhelming temptation. The story delves into the allure of the unknown, as Smith is irresistibly drawn to Shambleau's mysterious and otherworldly presence. This attraction highlights the danger of succumbing to primal instincts, which can threaten one's survival. Themes of survival and self-control are prominent as Smith must harness his inner strength to escape Shambleau's deadly grip. Additionally, Shambleau offers an exploration of alien otherness, presenting Shambleau as being both fascinating and frightening, challenging human perceptions of beauty and danger. The conflict between curiosity and self-preservation is evident as Smith's desire to understand Shambleau battles with his instinct to survive. The story also touches on the impact of isolation and loneliness, as both Smith and Shambleau are portrayed as solitary figures, navigating a hostile world alone. Finally, the power dynamics between predator and prey are examined, with Shambleau as a seductive predator and Smith as her potential prey. These themes collectively enrich the narrative, offering a multi-layered examination of human and alien interactions. In Shambleau, the themes of hunger and immortality are intricately woven into the narrative. Shambleau's predatory need to feed on the life force of others represents a literal and insatiable hunger, highlighting her dependence on human victims for survival. Her alien nature suggests a form of immortality, as she appears to possess a seemingly eternal existence sustained through her parasitic feeding. This pursuit of eternal life comes at a great cost to her victims, who succumb to her deadly allure. Northwest Smith's struggle to resist Shambleau's seductive hunger underscores the dangers associated with the quest for immortality and the sacrifices it demands. The story, published in 1933, echoes Victorian-era anxieties about scientific advancements and the ethical dilemmas they pose. Shambleau portrays immortality as a double-edged sword, offering longevity at the expense of others' lives and well-being. This narrative emphasizes the moral and ethical boundaries that often cross in the pursuit of life, reflecting broader societal concerns about the implications of such pursuits, just like the other two stories. In conclusion, Shambleau offers a gripping exploration of the themes of hunger and immortality, framed within a science fiction narrative. The story highlights the dangers of succumbing to temptation and the primal instincts that can threaten survival. By comparing Shambleau to the other stories in its presentation, we see a recurring theme of immortality's heavy cost and the ethical dilemmas it presents. Shambleau enriches our understanding of immortality's multifaceted nature, emphasizing the broader implications of temptation, survival, and the allure of the unknown. The cost of immortality in Shambleau is depicted through the parasitic relationship between Shambleau and her victims, showcasing the ethical considerations of seeking eternal life at others' expense. This narrative raises important questions about the moral boundaries that individuals might cross in their pursuit of immortality and the sacrifices it entails. Lessons learned from Shambleau include the importance of self-control, the dangers of yielding to primal desires, and the ethical implications of exploiting others for personal gain. These themes are relevant to contemporary issues such as the ethical debates surrounding advancements in medical science and the potential consequences of extending human life through artificial means. In summary, Shambleau offers a rich and complex examination of immortality, blending science fiction with deep moral and ethical questions for the readers to think about. This story, along with Dracula, Good Lady Ducayne, and Cookie Lady, provides a comprehensive exploration of the diverse and often troubling facets of immortality, leaving readers to ponder the true costs of eternal life and the boundaries of human desire. And for our last story, we have The Cookie Lady by Philip K. Dick. Philip K. Dick was born on December 16, 1928, in Chicago, Illinois, and passed away on March 2, 1982. He is celebrated as one of the most influential science fiction authors of the 20th century. Dick's works often explore complex themes such as reality, identity, and human nature. Among his famous works are Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which was adapted into the iconic film Blade Runner, The Man in the High Castle, and Ubik. Dick's legacy endures through his thought-provoking stories and the numerous adaptations of his work into films and TV shows, continuing to inspire and captivate audiences worldwide. The Cookie Lady tells the story of a young boy named Tommy who regularly visits an elderly woman named Miss Drew for her delicious cookies. Set in a small town, the story initially presents a warm and innocent relationship between Tommy and Mrs. Drew, just a kid and an old lady. However, it soon takes a darker turn as Tommy's visits become more frequent. As the story unfolds, it is revealed that Miss Drew has a sinister secret. She drains the youth and vitality from Tommy to sustain her own life. As Miss Drew grows stronger and more youthful, Tommy's health begins to deteriorate. This chilling discovery sets up a conflict that underscores the predatory nature of Mrs. Drew and the vulnerability of Tommy. Tommy is depicted as an innocent and trusting young boy who loves cookies and enjoys spending time with Miss Drew. His regular visits to her house are driven by his love for her cookies and the comfort of her company. Tommy is unaware of the danger he is in and does not suspect that Mrs. Drew has ulterior motives. His character represents childhood innocence and vulnerability, making his gradual decline in health all the more tragic as he unknowingly falls victim to Mrs. Drew's predatory nature. Miss Drew is initially portrayed as a kind and caring elderly woman who warmly welcomes Tommy into her home and offers him cookies. However, beneath his facade lies a sinister secret. Miss Drew drains the youth of children like Tommy to sustain her own life. Her character represents the dangerous, predatory nature that can be hidden behind an appearance of kindness and generosity. As the story progresses, the true extent of her malevolent intentions become clear, highlighting the theme of deception and the dark side of seemingly harmless individuals. The Cookie Lady explores several key themes, with the exploitation of innocence being central to the narrative. Tommy's innocence and trust are exploited by Miss Drew, who uses her kind appearance to mask her true evil intentions. This theme highlights the deceptive nature of appearances and how predators can hide their true motives behind a facade of kindness. The story delves into the cost of immortality, as Mrs. Drew's desire to sustain her life comes at the expense of Tommy's health. The narrative underscores the idea that immortality achieved through exploitation and harm to others is deeply unethical. The duality of human nature is explored through Mrs. Drew's character, who embodies both kindness and cruelty. This duality reflects the complexity of human behavior and the potential for darkness within. Additionally, the Cookie Lady addresses the hidden dangers in seemingly safe environments, warning readers to be cautious and aware of the potential for harm even in familiar settings. that you think you may be comfortable in. Finally, the consequences of unchecked desires are evident in Mrs. Drew's relentless pursuit of youth and vitality, which ultimately leads to Tommy's suffering. This theme serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of allowing selfish desires to override moral considerations. In The Cookie Lady, hunger and immortality are central themes intertwined through the character of Miss Drew. Her insatiable hunger for youth and vitality drives her to drain the life force from Tommy, a process that sustains her immortality, but at what cost? Mrs. Drew's method of achieving eternal life is parasitic, relying on the exploitation and harm of an innocent child to maintain her own health. This draining of Tommy's life force highlights the predatory and unethical nature of her actions. The story dives into more implications of Mrs. Drew's pursuit of immortality, questioning the ethical boundaries crossed in the quest for eternal life. Her actions reflect the destructive nature of insatiable desires, reflecting how the relentless pursuit of personal gain can lead to the suffering and exploitation of others. The cost of achieving immortality at the expense of others is portrayed as deeply unethical and ultimately reckless. Through Miss Drew's character, the Cookie Lady provides a telltale cautionary about the dangers of unchecked desires and the moral consequences of seeking eternal life through harmful means. The story also emphasizes the importance of considering the ethical side of one's actions and the potential harm caused to others in the pursuit of selfish goals for one's gain. In conclusion, The Cookie Lady offers a dark and thought-provoking exploration of hunger and immortality, set against the backdrop of a seemingly innocent story. The key points highlight the exploitation of innocence, the deceptive nature of appearances, and the moral implications of seeking eternal life at the expense of others. Reflecting on the themes of immortality, we can see how Mrs. Drew's pursuit of youth is both predatory and unethical, leading to the suffering of an innocent child. Comparing the Cookie Lady to other stories in this presentation, we observe a common theme of immortality's heavy cost and the ethical dilemmas it presents. The broader implications of hunger and immortality emphasize the dangers of unchecked desires and how one can cross any path, moral boundaries or not, in order to get what they want. From The Cookie Lady, we learn valuable lessons about the consequences of exploiting the innocent people, the importance of ethical considerations when it comes to personal gain, and the hidden dangers that can lurk behind seemingly kind faces. This story, along with Dracula, Good Lady Ducayne, and Shambleau, offers a comprehensive exploration of the diverse and often troubling facets of immortality, inviting readers to ponder the true cost of eternal life and the boundaries of human desire. Thank you for all your attention and interest in this presentation. Our group really enjoyed working on this project during week 3, and we hope that our enthusiasm and effort are reflected in this presentation. Thank you once again for your time and participation, and we can't wait to see how this week's discussion will go. So, in Dracula, how does the theme of immortality intersect with ideas of power and control? And Shambleau presents a unique take on immortality through the lens of an alien encounter. How does the portrayal of Shambleau challenge traditional views of eternal life? And 3, in The Cookie Lady, how does Philip K. Dick explore the consequences of immortality? What moral dilemmas arise from the Cookie Lady's ability to grant eternal life? And 4, how do the author's background and historical context influence their depiction of immortality in these stories, like Victorian or, 1940? 5, what role does hunger play as a metaphor in these stories for the desire for immortality? And 6, how do the characters' relationships with mortality and immortality shape their actions and motivations?